All right, let's get started. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Yaroslav Burchenko. I'm a market analyst at Olymp Trade, and I am here to serve you, to help you guys understand a new strategy, a new way of thinking about trading on the Olymp Trade platform, and I'm here to help you weigh the two, which one is better, which one is worse, and how you can pick the two. So, without further ado, let's get started. And the first thing that I want to discuss is how are you guys doing? How is your trading over the course of the new year? Did anybody trade over the new year? Please raise your hand. Did anybody catch the Bitcoin rise? I know I've been kicking myself over that over the holiday period that I missed it. And how has it been for you trading in the new year? Also, I do want to remind you guys that I have, give me one sec, you guys, that I have recorded a few videos on the topic of what is what's been happening in the sphere of politics, in the sphere of Janet Yellen, the new Treasury Secretary of the United States, and also what has been going on with the new presidency, with Joe Biden, the new president of the United States. So I'm going to send that to you guys in chat. I'm going to also pin it so you guys can have a look at it later. But yeah, let's get started. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me and see me before we do get started? It does seem that there is there's a few of you guys here, and welcome. We'll wait just a few more minutes before we get started for other users to join in, and then we'll get started. Can you guys hear me and see me? Please go ahead and let me know in chat. All right. Good stuff, Haraj. Thank you very much for your reply. I just want to really quickly make sure that I can. One sec. Good stuff. Hello. Harshraj, hello. Jayashri, hello. Ajay, welcome. What is wrong with GameStop shares? What they have said a lot. What is wrong with Apple? Even report is very good. Then also why after trading hours the price is less. This way I am losing more money. So actually, what is going on with GameStop? My friend, GameStop is a pump and dump story. What that means is that a group of retail traders, so people that are trading from home, just like you and I, a group of retail traders have gotten together on Reddit, talked about the beauty of this this stock, and have agreed to push the price higher. This has been totally, like, in my 10 years of trading, I've never seen anything similar to it. Unfortunately, we don't have GameStop on the Olymp Trade platform, and so there's actually not a lot that I want to say about it. It's a dangerous story. I don't recommend you get in it. It was a stock that was shorted heavily by institutional traders, and yes, they got caught, and we'll talk about this, how institutions function and how other people function in the market. So basically, GameStop is a pump and dump story. People on the internet have raised the stock price because it was a very low volume stock. So a few trades, or a few thousand, or a few 100,000 trades in that stock boosted the stock price past its valuation, past its normal price. And this is nothing new. We've seen this in Tesla. Anybody trade Tesla in 2017? Anybody trade Tesla in 2020? That's what I'm talking about. It goes parabolic. Even the CEO says that the stock is overpriced, and yet people continue to buy in. And I will talk about that today, why the market does strange things throughout history and why buy and hold is a good strategy. So without further ado, my friends, let's get started. Let's get started. That sucks. What the heck? One sec, you guys. I'm just trying to see that I can give you guys the link that I was talking about with Janet Yellen, because it doesn't work for me. I just opened it, and it doesn't work for me. So let me unpin this message, remove this bad boy, unpin message. And this is what I was trying to get across to you guys. This is the Janet Yellen, Joe Biden kind of plan. So let's talk about the pros and cons of a buy and hold strategy. There's essentially two ways you can tackle the market. You can make money quick and fast, like traders do, or you can be safe and steady, like investors do. And so today we're going to be talking about that safe and steady method. As you guys can see, I have a $26,000 account. I want to keep that money. I want this money to stay with me for a long time. So what do? Well, remember, there's a mantra of buy low, sell high. That's basically what investors are looking for. These investors, they seek out these undervalued stocks and they buy into them with the intent to hold on to these stocks for months or maybe even years. And a company, they have strong fundamental characteristics and sound management, and a lot of times that will supersede or that will overweigh the chaos and the flux of the financial markets. So obviously in the short term, it's very difficult to call the best entry and the best exit point. So what investors do that hold for the long term is they buy in, desirably somewhere from the bottom, and then hold that for a long time. I believe like Amazon, Apple, 3M is a good point. Actually, they had an awesome earnings report yesterday, so that's why the stock blew up. Caterpillar actually is another one that I'm watching. It's taken a really low point, but actually I see a lot of future in Caterpillar. So with time, as time passes, right here you can see throughout the year, the stock will reward you with a large percentage of gain. And because you're trading on the Olymp trade platform, you have the opportunity to use a multiplier. And that's what's most important, I guess, that you can use a multiplier and hold on to a stock that moves in one direction. And one of the indexes that we're going to be talking about quite a lot is the S&P 500. Have a look at this, guys. Like, excluding the coronavirus fall, this is pretty much a 45-degree angle going higher. 45-degree going higher. Same thing with Apple. Before the 5-to-1 stock split, it was mostly an upwards moving, stock. And wouldn't you love to own Apple when it first came out and it was trading at around $6 per share? You would be a millionaire if you had, if you invested enough. $10,000 would have given you a substantial return on investment. So what about Netflix? Wouldn't you have loved to get in on Netflix when it was only trading at around $17? Of course, they had a really rough year this year, but this kind of gap just shows you that there is more. Now, I'm not going to get into the technical details of Netflix. I have done so in previous videos, so you guys go ahead and browse the channel and have a look for my face, and you will see that there's a lot of probability that Netflix will continue up higher. So let's talk about the pros and cons of a buy and hold strategy. So I'll start with the positive side. It's now because the way the charting software works, this may not look like a straight line, but Apple has been doing very well. So again, the stock split to 108. It's at 142 right now. So obviously it's also in a nice stable line up. And this is only in a few months that it made an extra 50%, almost 50% to its price. So really, really good strategy that you guys should learn. So let's talk about the pros. Number one, it works. You guys can write this stuff down. Like I'll give you guys bullet points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1, it works. Think about some of the richest people in the world. Warren Buffett, Jack Bogle, John Templeton, Peter Lynch. All of these guys are millionaires, if not billionaires. Excuse me, billionaires. All these guys are billionaires. And they have used the buy and hold strategy all of their career. That's what they do, and it works. How many traders do you know that are billionaires? That's a different question. Trading is a lot more stressful, and so these people, they try to be more reserved and don't flaunt their wealth. But again, that super massive wealth that Warren Buffett has was gained from value investing and a buy and hold strategy. So maybe your stock picking skills are not as good as Warren Buffett's. That's fine. That's all right. You need to simply put your money in an index like the S&P 500 and forget about it for 1 month. You guys try this. Just try this at home. Put your money in the S&P 500 for 1 month and see what it does. You will see that 3 to 5% within 1 month. Those are great returns for a trader even. Even if a trader at a bank is required to make 1%, then you can make 3 to 5%. I think that's fantastic. So the statistics of what I'm trying to tell you, again, because I'm a statistician, I like facts. The statistics are, if you place your money in the S&P 500 for a month, you will outperform 86% of all of the large cap hedge funds in the world. What that means is professional money makers, 80% of them cannot do better than what the S&P 500 does in a month. Those are facts. I'm not making this up. Google it if you don't believe me. These are facts. This is actually a curse, I believe, on my industry, because when I tell people that I'm a money manager, that I manage my family's money, and they're saying, oh, you probably lose like the rest of the industry. Well, there are tough times, but the industry in general cannot outperform the S&P 500. So bear with me. Let's continue with the topic. I'm going to answer some questions because Vicky Rajput is asking some really good questions. So he's asking, first of all, he had a question about which stock will you suggest for long-time investment? Madhu Yadav. Very good question, my friend. A lot of these stocks are AAA stocks or AA plus stocks, so basically investment grade. Olymp Trade, the purpose of the company is to provide good investment opportunities. Whereas in currencies, we have all of the currencies that are available to trade. The stocks that are available to trade on the company's platform are all good stocks. So all of these stocks, except maybe like some oil companies and some banks, are really, really good. And in fact, the banking industry is rising. Do you know why it's rising? Just a real quick thing. During the middle of the year of last year, the Federal Reserve banned, or excuse me, not the Federal Reserve, basically banks were not allowed to do stock buybacks. Not allowed to do stock buybacks. Basically what that means, it's a popular thing. When your stock falls, a company would buy its own stock. It's cheap, it'll raise the price, and we'll own more shares. Why not? Also, there's arguments that it's good for the people that still hold the stocks, as there's less stocks in circulation. That means dividends are bigger to the ones that have, and obviously it raises the value of the stock, and so that's good for the people that are holding it. But again, it's bad for the people that are just coming into the stock. That's the problem. That's where I see the system fails, and stock buybacks are not such a good thing for the rest of us that are looking for an entry point into the stock. So, let's continue with the questions. So as I continue, I will outline some stocks that are really good. In general, if I was a money manager, I would hold all of these stocks in my portfolio. But again, a money manager is forced to use that money. Whereas I can have this money just sit there. If I was working for a hedge fund, I would have to put that money somewhere. So that's kind of the difference, that you and I, we are in a little bit of a better position where we can maneuver in the markets more freely. All right, if that makes sense. So quickly, I'm going to answer the. So Vicky Ravage, actually, you've been really going hard with these questions. Apple is there. I invested almost 5K in Forex Apple and Olymp. I thought it might go up today, but it goes to 136, and I will lose it all. Oof. Let's have a look at Apple. I really do hope that the correction will cease. You must have taken a really huge position with a really small, what's it called, stop loss. Like, take a look at this, my friend. Like, this would probably have not have been the best time to buy. Use the CCI indicator. So this is for you, Vicky Rajput. You see how the CCI indicator leaves right here? This is a buy signal right here, and that's when we started the uptrend. And that's what I want you to focus on. Again, we go up here. This is the candle where we broke out, and then it goes up for a little bit. That's what you want to look for. You still want to use technical analysis, but I want to talk a little bit about fundamental analysis. So really quick question, your next question, is it true that hedge fund managers are using extended hour trading to scare retail traders off? Most retail traders lack the ability to trade outside the market hour. Maybe this is why the stocks are low. Absolutely, hedge fund managers actually use pre-hour and post-hour trading. So there's 1 hour that pre-market open and post-market open that you can still conduct trades with reasonably small spread. After market hours, you can actually trade after market hours. I don't know if you knew that, but the spread is colossal. So you would need to, it would need to be like, you would need to be in a stock for a long time and already in the positive territory, and then some super negative news comes out that says maybe the company's headquarters, was destroyed in an earthquake. Then you would say, bang, I need to get out of that stock post-market hours. But for you and I, for retail traders, we don't really need that ability to trade post and pre-market hours, just because, first of all, we don't have that sophistication. We're not aware of all these things that go on in the stock as they happen, and second of all, our positions are not of that size. So that's a little bit of a different topic. I want to stay because this is going to be a long webinar, guys. I've only gotten past point 1. So if we put money in the S&P 500 in 1 month, so which multiplier we suggest? More multiplier will lose all money if market take a little U-turn. Please suggest for multiplier. Great question. I like that this gentleman is listening and that he has actual questions that go with the assignment that I gave you. So with the market multiplier, because there's 2, I would again recommend buying off of the lows. So you guys see the S&P 500 right now is coming off of the lows, but we are having negative kind of moves here. So again, what I would do, this is what I would do. I would wait for a situation where we have something of this sort. So where we have a cross from the negative side. So right now we're negative. This is a drop down. The negative turns into a positive. So this is one signal, one buy signal right here. Take a look at this. These 2 candles, buy signal right here. And then in a few days, another buy signal, this kind of buy signal right here. So on this candle. Obviously, if you got in up here, you got screwed a little bit. But if you were able to open somewhere around the low of the day, remember stocks, the stocks are difficult to trade because they open high and then fall. They open high and then fall. But you see, we're still going up. So it's important to kind of time your entry correctly, and there's other webinars about technical analysis that will help you, but using these 2 indicators, you will have a better understanding of when to open. Again, even if you open right now, because of the political situation we're in, the stock market will grow within a month. It just depends on how well you time your entry. That will be the size of your gain, okay, if that makes sense. But the general gist is of that sort. So guys, I'm going to stop reading your chat for a second. Let me go through the next topic. So why buy and hold is a good strategy. Another pro is that there's fewer headaches. You're not worried about doing all the technical data. It's if a stock chart is foreign to you, like it's a foreign language, when you hear Head and Shoulders, you think of the shampoo and not of the chart pattern. You can't tell the difference between simple moving average and RSI. Maybe your technical analysis needs some work. But in that case, then you're absolutely fine to use the buy and hold strategy. You don't need to learn all the technical data. This is an art. Like technical analysis is an art. But studies have shown that the market is incredibly random. So there was a study in 1975 by a gentleman named William Sharp. He's the creator of the Sharp ratio, the risk to reward ratio. Somebody you guys should really research if you're serious about this profession. So William Sharp is a Nobel Prize winner, and he conducted research, likely gains from market timing, and the results of that research were that it's incredibly random. The stock market in the short term is super random. It's chaos. So when we have that, I'd like to make an analogy. It's like buying a house. The buy and hold strategy is like buying a house. You look at the characteristics of the overall market. You gauge the overall direction and the life of the market, the sentiment. What are other traders talking about? And when you assess that there's possibility of future growth, then you buy and you let the thing do its, and you let investment do its thing. You relax and you let it grow. You let your initial analysis work itself out, play itself out. So you don't have to worry about finding the perfect entry or the perfect exit. You just check the price, buy it at a certain price, and then check where it's at, once a week, once a month if you're holding for the long term. Moving on, number 3, why buy and hold is a good strategy, and in some cases better than buying and selling quickly. Buy and hold and investing in general is what is taught in academic circles. In Harvard, Yale, they don't teach trading. They don't teach speculating. They teach how to put together a portfolio and then how to manage that portfolio. So once a week, once a month, once a day, like those hedge funds, they sometimes rework their portfolio once a day depending on the news, but it's fundamental analysis, and it works with cold hard facts. Unlike technical trading, fundamental analysis has very little room for guesswork, right? You read the balance sheet of a company, so we're talking about stocks here. And actually, this is a good point. The buy and hold strategy, guys, listen up, this is important. Buy and hold strategy works mostly for stocks, indexes, and certain seasonal commodities. This is not a strategy for the Forex market. I repeat, this is not a strategy for the Forex market. So keep that in mind. So when you're using fundamental analysis, you read the balance sheet, the income statement, the statement of cash flows, and they're all there. They're real. There's no room for your imagination or for subjectivity. So that's another reason why buy and hold is a suitable strategy. Now let's flip that around and have a look at some of the cons or some of the negatives why it could be, a poor strategy for you. So one is it ties up your capital. Every trade that I open for the long term, that money is stuck there. I can't use it to speculate in other markets. I can't use it to buy other assets. So there's a large opportunity cost attached to this. Buy and hold sometimes means you're tied up in that asset for a really long time, for a few months, maybe even a year. And the buy and holder must have that strength, that inner strength and discipline to not chase other investment opportunities during this holding period. So Tinker, hello, welcome. I see that you joined. Nature Buyo Treyori. No promo codes today, but we are having a challenge coming up next week where we're going to constantly be giving you guys little quizzes, and we're going to be giving you guys status advancements, which is basically a loyalty program where you get to have benefits to your trading. The next con that we have, number 5 out of my 6 points, is time. Fundamental analysis and stock picking takes time. It's very time intensive. Just because you have held an asset, like I have some traders on the platform who have held Apple for 5 years. just because they've held it for that time doesn't mean that they're entitled for a huge cash reward. That's not how it works. The case is that you look at the differences in return between a sluggish, say, what's a sluggish company that we have over here? So one of the oil companies. Again, this is a very sluggish kind of atmosphere for oil companies. And if we look at a fast tech company like, say, Oracle, you know, we have that upwards momentum. We have that upwards tendency. So bear in mind that the opportunity costs also when you pick a poor stock, like if you accidentally do get in on something and it falls, you can mitigate that through diversification. So you don't put $10,000 into Netflix, you put $2,000 into Netflix, $2,000 into Apple, and $2,000 into Oracle, for instance, or Netflix. So that's kind of a way that you can sidestep some of the dangers with picking wrong. And number 6, yeah, exactly. IBM is also a sluggish. It did not perform at all. I don't understand why IBM did not find a way to monetize during the coronavirus pandemic. Every other IT company blew its roof off. IBM stuck behind. IBM created the first AI, artificial intelligence, Watson. In fact, I was at a conference with a Russian bank where a representative of IBM gave a speech about Watson. Of course, my question was, what's the rate of return that Watson makes on the stock market? And he, of course, declined to comment on that. But obviously, I do believe Watson is trading, as a lot of other black box operations are trading freely on the market. But again, they don't have the outsized gains that a really good human trader has. A really good human trader can always make more money than a robot. It just requires a very, disciplined professional individual that has a lot of experience behind his back and, again, an edge in the market. So lastly, why a con to the buy and hold strategy is market crashes. I'm sure you guys have all seen what the coronavirus pandemic did to the rest of the world. This was a 60% drop at the time, and that is huge. Excuse me, not 60, 40% drop. And just because a stock market or a stock index has been, growing for many, many years, it does not mean that it's foolproof. It does not mean that there's no way that it will hurt you come a market crash. Now, nothing short of an apocalypse will kill the stock market. So imagine like an explosion on the sun that will wipe out electricity in the world. That will kill the stock market. But other things like earthquakes and, say, market crashes, they do happen from time to time, and we always grow back. They always grow back, especially if you're looking at a forward at one of the top markets. We have the U.S. market right now is the top stock market to invest in, and so this market right now is very stable, very, very stable, despite all the troubles with the vaccines and stuff like that. So basically, that's the gist of it, you guys. Let me show you how to pick companies and how to use a combination of fundamental analysis and technical analysis. So first thing you want to do is, of course, look at earnings seasons. When you see a company shoot up like this usually means that they had a great earnings report, which 3M did. And let me give you some insights. So this is where fundamental analysis comes in. 3M is a company that I want to invest for the long term. So write this on your list. When this guy drops down to one of these levels, like let's have a look at which levels it drops down to. Occasionally, like very often, it drops down to the 20 EMA. Sometimes it drops down to the 100 EMA, and very, very rarely it drops down to the 200 EMA. You guys can see them right here: 200, 100, 50, and 20. So my advice is, if ever we reach the 200 EMA with 3M company, you buy. You buy and you hold. Right now is not a good opportunity to get in. AMD, let me tell you about another company, Johnson & Johnson. Guys, this is important. Pay attention. You guys all have heard that Moderna and BioNTech have created vaccines. Well, guess what? Johnson & Johnson have created a better vaccine. The Moderna and Pfizer, Pfizer's for Europe and the UK, but Moderna and biotech, they require sub-zero transportation temperatures, and then it needs to be thawed out, and you need to have 2 shots administered weeks apart. That's not very, not very easily administrable. Johnson & Johnson created a vaccine that only requires 1 shot, and you could keep it in the fridge. They're going through FDA approval right now, and if that approval goes through and they get approved, their stock is going to grow. And why do I recommend Johnson & Johnson? Well, because they have been underperforming all year. Despite relatively good return, their stock, for some reason, has not been growing. The fact that now we have been growing, again, I would like to have a pullback. And look at the history. Where does the price go to? During a flat, the moving averages aren't such a good indicator. Again, see, because we go above it, we go below it, then we go above it, craziness. But now we're on a rise, and we're using the 20 EMA as a level of support. So that's where we want to buy Johnson & Johnson. Also, what do we know about Joe Biden? We know that he is all about green energy. And what is green energy? That's electric vehicles. And that is Tesla. Tesla is a US company, and obviously they are overbought, they are overextended, but nonetheless, what do we see here? It uses the 20 EMA as a level of support. So again, Tesla is going to be one of those stocks that fundamentally has a bright future in the new US economy. Moving on. Besides investing in green energy, President Joe Biden has said that I'm going to invest $2 trillion in research, development, infrastructure, and education. We're only interested in one of those, infrastructure. Infrastructure means roads, bridges, and so forth. And that's what Caterpillar does. In order to create those things, you need to have heavy machinery. And Caterpillar sells that heavy machinery. They're the leader in the US stock market of heavy machinery. So another stock that is really, really good to trade. Because this webinar has started early before the stock market opens, I don't have the opportunity to, buy these stocks with you. But what I can do is go through all of the indexes. And as you guys can see right now is not the best time to buy the indexes, but very, very soon, very, very soon. As you guys saw with 3M, it's too late to get in that stock. But with the other companies and the other indexes like the S&P 500, we could have a change. Now again, this candle right here does not instill confidence because all of the world's indexes are negative right now. But once this turns around and this turns green, and green substantially, like say above the 20 EMA, that's kind of where I want to buy from. Do you guys see that it also uses the 20 EMA as a support level? That's where I want to buy from. So again, first I want price to actually move in that direction so I see that we are in a bullish trend in the short term. Then I wait until it breaks a certain level. Again, the 20 EMA on the daily graph was that level. And then I go ahead and buy and hold. That's it. That's all I want to do for trading the indexes. The multiplier. Good question, actually. Vicky Rajput asked the multiplier that you want to use. If you use my strategy, you can use a 20 multiplier. If you just close your eyes and buy, then I would recommend using the 10 multiplier. Does that kind of make sense? When you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, you can take more risk. If you have no idea and you're a beginner and you just want to try out my assignment or my task that I gave you guys, then of course you want to use the minimal multiplier because you're just testing the water. Even better, so that you kind of can realize that I'm a reliable analyst, use your demo account. Go ahead, use your demo account to open up this trade. Why not? So let me see if I can open up some trades right now. I do like this, guys. Have a look at this. This is the hourly graph, and this is the S&P 500 contract that trades 23 hours a day. So this asset allows you to trade the US stock market pre-market hours and post-market hours, which is very, very good and very, very interesting. Obviously, there's low volatility. When you guys have a look at this, there's low volatility during the time when the market is closed. But then when it opens, we have, significant volatility. So S&P 500 right now looks like a buy for me because I am trading on the Forex platform on my main account. I do want to put my money where my mouth is. So I'm going to open up a $1,000 trade going in the up direction. I do want to make sure that once I make a profit of $2,000, so 100% to my account, then obviously I want to get in. And also I want to make sure that I lose as little as possible. So apply that, get in, open the trade. Perfect. Do you guys see how my stop loss, I could even move it up and then a little bit away from that? I don't, because if we retest this level with a sharp candle like this, I don't want my trade to be automatically disqualified. But I also do want to make sure that I stay in the trade for a really long time. So S&P 500 for me is definitely a buy. The NASDAQ is one of the markets that I believe is overextended. But the way that it stopped right at this 20 EMA, to me, is like a really big signal. Now, again, the bigger time frame takes priority. The bigger time frame takes priority over the short-term time frame, and here I believe this was poor that I kind of opened this trade, because again, I have not seen the reversal yet here, but I did see the reversal here actually, so that's why I opened the trade. We do have the inclination here as well that we are moving a little bit higher, but we haven't broken the 20 EMA as we have here. So that's kind of the reason why I opened up on the on the S&P 500 and not on the NASDAQ. And also the IT companies that are within the NASDAQ, they are all very, very highly priced. And I know that professional money managers, they look at that criteria. They think to themselves, it's already very risky. Do I want to add more risk to it? That's kind of the position that I'm looking for. I'm going to take a few minutes to see what you guys are asking in chat and then wrap up the webinar, because I have given to you guys the information that was planned. So with gold, I always like to look kind of like at the trend line. It's been behaving very sporadically and very difficult to predict. So as of right now, I don't see an entry point into gold. I just want to draw out my graph and then kind of leave it there until I get a signal from gold. All right, to your questions. Yes, that's right. So guys, there's a special promo code today. You get 30% to participate in the Trader's Way Challenge that starts on Monday, on the 1st of February. The promo code is TW2021. Guys, please make sure to have a look in chat. I'm actually going to pin this message. So guys, please have a look at the pinned message that I showed you guys in chat. And thank you so much to my support that is helping me out with this. So platform, obviously the Forex platform, Mayur Gaikwad. With the FTT platform, the biggest time frame that you can put on is 23 hours. So Forex is the platform that you should be opening these buy and hold trades on. Michael Trader, thank you so much for your input. Please simplify your deposit method. I do believe that it's pretty simple. There's a KYC, know your client procedure in place, but that's because we are a regulated broker. We're regulated by a financial commission, so that's kind of the demand that we have. Thoughts on AMC. IBM is also slow and sluggish. IBM has more competitors now. Microsoft is the biggest one for cloud services like Azure, and Amazon is also on the list. Absolutely correct. Vicky Rajput, it's good to have you in chat, bro. Thank you. which is a good strategy for Forex. That will be a different video. Wolfie 5. A good strategy for Forex would be using technical analysis and trading the news. IBM is streamlining its business to focus more on its cloud operations. However, the shift isn't processing as well as many analysts anticipated. IBM's total cloud revenue rose only 10%. Yeah, their revenue has been abysmal during last year. Where Microsoft competitors, Amazon and Microsoft, are projected to deliver more impressive cloud growth in their upcoming earnings report. Johnson & Johnson shares will jump more if vaccines. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was talking about, guys. I'm trying to give you guys ideas that you can invest in for the long term. Tesla's price to earnings ratio is too much. I can't believe it will grow much as Apple Car is the competitor. How far away is Apple Car though? Right? They're not quite close to being released. And after a product is released, remember that it becomes as people start driving, then there's going to be a lot of other problems that arise. Tesla has already passed those problems. Tesla has passed problems with car accidents and automation, 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. So they're better positioned and they're obviously a better brand. Apple is a phone. I don't want to be driving in my phone. But anyways, those are my personal kind of understandings, but of course there's going to be a lot of competition, and it's not only from Apple. General Motors, Ford, a lot of the Japanese companies, they're all making electric vehicles, and they're all beautiful, and they work good, they look good. So there is a lot of competition for Tesla, but Tesla is the leader. And remember, remember when I told you guys, stocks are sometimes crazy. They do things just because they're moving. Like the S&P 500 in itself is overbought. It's overextended. The price to earnings ratio on the S&P 500 is very high. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you need to just go with what the market is doing. But this is a different strategy. This is a different kind of market play. And so if you're trying to buy and hold strategy, again, try to buy low, sell high, and get in on a stock that has fundamental reasons to move higher. So I opened my quote this morning in the NASDAQ at 12,969 for $900 in 4 hours. It's 1,000. Good stuff. Hey, congratulations. So Vicky Rajput, I'm glad that you know what you're doing and you're doing good. Trailing stop loss is capped to 50%, and this is the disadvantage at Olymp. We are ready to take risk. At least this should be fixed. I disagree. Vicky Rajput, that's a great question. I actually completely agree with the fact that we have the 50% cutoff, and also that we have that the maximum we can lose is what we trade. I've been in this industry for 10 years, and I have seen people blow up their account and then be completely disgusted with trading. Olymp Trade is here so that you guys survive for the long term, so that you guys will gain that experience and that market knowledge in the long term and continue to be profitable, good traders. Right? If you blow up your account, what's the probability that you'll come back to trading? It's zero, right? Or very close to it. So make sure that you understand that all of the precautions to limit your risk are actually good. Because if you, this is the honest truth, Vicky. If you opened a position and it falls more than 25% against you, you should close it. If you lose 25% of your position, you opened the wrong position. You should close it. But that's my humble opinion. Some people hold it until they lose 100% of their trade amount. I believe that's silly. There's no reason to do that. If it goes against you, you're wrong. Admit it and get out. And that way you lose a little, but when you're right, forget about it and you'll earn a lot. That's kind of like the basic outline. Should we buy S&P 500 now? Good question. Yeah. Again, I shouldn't be saying yes or no, but I bought the S&P 500 and I showed you guys why. I told you guys why. So there is more room for the S&P 500 to grow because there's more money being injected into the government. There's a new president. There's seasonality. There's a bunch of reasons. If I was like presenting to you guys why to invest in the S&P 500, I would probably spend an hour telling you why with a full-blown presentation with statistics and graphs. The point of this webinar is to outline another strategy, because we see a lot of Olymp trade traders trading short term and getting burned. And so we're looking for kind of that diversification in your trade strategy so that you guys can have more income from different ways. There's an awesome trader that said this to me one time. He said, there's a million ways to make money in the market. You need to just find one. That's kind of like my favorite quote, because it's always looking for treasure. And when you find that edge, when you find that advantage that you have over the market, that is the treasure that you have gained. So Jayashri Ravikumar, I'm a starter. If stock doesn't perform well, can't we sell and hold for profit? Yeah, absolutely. If the stock does not perform well, sell it. There's no reason to. That's why I was telling you guys how to find that good entry point, because if you get in and it goes against you, I don't think you should be holding it. That's not good trading. That's not good trading style or procedure or technique. It's not good technique. There you go. All right, so I answered that. So my friend, bro, which strategy is good for Forex? You already asked that, my friend. I already answered it. So this webinar is not about Forex. It is about buying and holding the market that works. And like I said, buy and hold works for commodities, stocks, and indexes. We have a lot of webinars about Forex and good strategies there. You just need to put in the effort and look for the videos. So I'll leave you guys with that. I'm an old customer now. Loss $80 to $90 loss. All right. How would you like me to comment on that? I'm sorry that you lost that money. Maybe work on some of the mistakes that you made. Are you jotting down your trades? This is very important. If you guys are losing money, you need to be, even if you're winning money, you need to be recording your trades so that way you understand why you're winning or why you're losing, and that way you can work on that, making more of what works and doing less of what doesn't. Anyways, Bluzmate, hey buddy, I'm good. Welcome. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a really long time, but then I haven't been doing webinars in a really long time. So anyway, it's really good to see you, my friend. If we follow affiliate trading, is it dangerous? Yes. Every time you let another person decide your trades for you, you lose two things. First of all, you lose control. You totally lose control. And second of all, you rob yourself of the opportunity to understand what happened, to get better. There's no way that you get better when you just follow recommendations of other people. But if the recommendation has reasons why and gives you an understanding of what indicators are giving what signals, then I think that's a good thing to listen to. You can open up your own graph, draw your own lines, put on your own indicators, and then sit there and think, do I agree with this or not? But blindly kind of like, okay, he said this, so I'll do this. I don't think that's a good idea in any business, not only in trading. I don't think it works in any business in life whatsoever. So that's that. Do you use the same indicator in trading? Yes, I do. So I've used probably all of the indicators on the Olymp Trade platform. I like to keep my screen relatively simple, and so I only use these things, and that's it. Which strategies are suitable for beginners? Buy and hold is a great strategy for beginners. I have the expert status in Olymp, and I'm trading since 2018. You are a great person. Vicky Rajput, that is really nice of you to say. Thank you so much, my friend. And like I said, it's an honor to have you in chat and giving your opinions. I do appreciate your input, and thank you for your kind words. Use the same indicator in trading. I already answered this. What leverage we used for S&P 500, 10 or 20? Bluzmate, I did answer that, bro. If you are just opening off the cuff, if you're just like randomly opening positions, lower your multiplier. But if you found a really good entry point and it's like a point of reversal and you get in with a really short stop loss, then I would of course maximize the risk and put on a bigger multiplier. Having said that, I don't use the 500 multiplier. On the Forex platform, the 500 multiplier and the currencies is a little bit too much for me. I usually never am able to open a position where the stop loss is like super tiny and one little jitter to the downside will knock out a $1,000 trade. It bugs me. I never use the 500 multiplier, so keep that in mind, you guys. All right, sir, I'm new to this field. Can you guide me? Where can I start learning about these fields from scratch? You came to the right place, all in one. Our YouTube channel is specifically made, we call it the Olymp Trade Academy, and you can go from zero to hero just by watching our videos. We have a lot of strategies. We talk about technical and fundamental analysis. We talk about stock picking. We talk about looking at all the statistics for companies and how you can read financial reports. So all that good stuff. But make sure you're active. Make sure you're active in the comments section, because that's where we gain an idea of what to record next for you guys. If there's a lot of you asking for the same thing in comments, not in chat. See, chat in YouTube doesn't stay for a long time, but the comments section, that's where we go to get ideas of what kind of content to provide you with next. So make sure you guys are active in the comments section below, and I personally answer my questions on my videos. So if you guys do get an answer and it's like from a person, then it's usually me who's answering. So keep that in mind. Where should I study about material about Forex strategies? Just answered that. Do you recommend IM Master Academy? No, I do not. Thank you so much for this valuable lesson. Noted all 5 important points. There are 6. Happy trading to everyone. Yes, thank you, and happy trading to you too as well, Vicky. And Zamishbek Jamatov, how long do you think does it take to become a successful trader? I know it depends on person, but on average. Great question, and this was what I was asking myself when I was losing in my first year of trading. Let me tell you this. If you're doing it by yourself and you are studying after work and you are trading after work, it will take you somewhere between 3 to 7 or 8 years minimum. Do not think that in 1 year, if you are trading by yourself, sitting at home, that you will ever become profitable. Well, I don't want to say ever, that you will become a consistently profitable trader in less than 3 years. That's kind of the best time frame that you can give yourself. But remember, it is important that you study every day. It is important that you dedicate yourself to this craft, because when you open a new business, how stressful is it? How hard is it to open a new business? It doesn't even matter if it's a convenience store. You have suppliers, you have logistics, you have shoplifting, there's so much like detail that goes into it. And trading is much more difficult. It looks easy because all you got to do, you have this mouse, you have this button, you click the button and stuff happens. That's the kind of misleading part of this business. It is very difficult. It requires knowledge of statistics, of gambling, of fundamental analysis, of technical analysis. And what do I mean by gambling? I mean that if you make 100% on your trade, you've closed the trade. If you make 100% on your deposit, you take out the money from the deposit. That's what I mean by that. So keep in mind that it will take a long time for a person sitting at home to get better. Now, what is the route that I took in order to get better fast? I started as a janitor at a brokerage company. I started answering phone calls at a brokerage company. I started washing whiteboards at a brokerage company. I brought coffee. I did all of the dirty, crappy work in order just to stay there, because I felt that this was my place in life. This was my mission. And after that, I got better exponentially. And after that, I started getting invited to conferences to speak, to appear on different YouTube videos for different companies. I got taken interviews, but it only came after 3 years of busting my butt and working in the industry. So every day, if you look at the graphics every day as your main job, that will increase, that will expedite your path to a consistently profitable trader. And even then, keep in mind, even then there is no guarantee that you will last. You will find a good strategy that works, and then we have a period of stagnation or stagflation, and the markets are doing this, and you have no idea how to trade within a flat. And that's the end of your trading career. You lose once, you lose twice, you win a little, and then you lose a lot more. So the more time you give yourself before you go to a live account, the better. The more time you give yourself before you quit your day job and start looking for ways to make money from trading constantly, the better. I hope that answers your question. This is just a topic that's very close to my heart as well, or was, and that's why I have the answer for you. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. If I didn't answer any of your questions, please go ahead and answer or ask your questions in the comment section below after this video finishes. Stop asking your questions right now. I'm sorry I don't have any more time to answer it, but please do ask your questions in the comment section and we will cover all of it. I promise. Okay, guys? So thank you so much for your time. I want to remind you again that we constantly publish active market news. It's no longer once a week. It's anytime we hear something amazing or market moving. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Guys, I really put my heart and soul into all these videos. So if you leave me a thumbs up, I do feel blessed and I do feel like I'm doing good work. So that all of that is appreciated. And coming February 1st, we have a new challenge. By the way, just even if you don't want to participate in the challenge, you want to make 30% on your deposit, use the promo code that I'm giving you guys right now in chat. This promo code, when you top up your account, will automatically register you in the competition and starting on Monday, but it also gives you a bonus to your account. So you win either way. Make sure to take advantage of that. Thank you guys for your time. I love you all. See you guys next time. Together with Olymp Trade, we wish you guys good luck trading out there. Peace.